SKK, sir. Pati, sir. Welcome, sir. Radio co-host. Good afternoon, Pati, sir. Good afternoon, Gina, ma'am. Warm welcome.
Hi, Lavana. Thank you.
Hi, ma'am. Good
Yeah.
afternoon and warm welcome, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Pati, sir, you can unmute yourself.
Okay. Hi, Lavana. Hi, Gina.
Hi, sir.
Thanks for joining.
So,
Good afternoon, Pati.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, SKK.
Good afternoon, Lavana.
We have a speaker now, sir, with us. We have Gina, ma'am, with us.
Yeah.
So, Gina,
Great.
ma'am, Krishna Kumar, sir, is our industry tower lead champion who is leading this along with Pati, sir.
You are muted. Gina, Priya, you are.
Okay. Sure. Okay, sir. Just unmuted. Thank you.
Gina, ma'am, before proceeding, do you want to try sharing your screen and test your thing, ma'am?
Okay. Okay. So do you want me to? I thought, no, I have the presentation. I thought you would, I had sent the PPT. Just give me a minute. Let us give a try.
Good afternoon, madam.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Lavana, if maybe it is better, Gina, Priya, if you are presenting so that
No,
you
I will
can
do,
do
sir.
navigation.
No. I can actually. It's easier, much easier. Just give me.
And ma'am, I hope I could record the session also with your permission.
Please. Yeah, please. Just a minute.
Hari, I hope the session is live on YouTube also. Can you check that? I have
Yes, ma'am.
initiated.
Yes, ma'am. All set. Yeah.
Thank you.
I am not able to share. One second. Something is coming.
Just start sharing something with them.
Yeah. No. I got it. You're able to?
Yeah,
Yes.
now we are able.
Yeah.
Go to show mode.
Yeah.
Presentation mode.
One second. Yeah.
So while starting, you just go for slideshow mode. Now it's perfect.
Yeah, good.
It's showing up, right? Correct?
Yes.
Fine. So basically, we will disable the chat during the session, ma'am. But participants are allowed to send email to a particular email ID, and we will open up if it required.
No problem. Not an issue.
So, dear faculty members and students, kindly remind your students to join quickly. We'll start in another 5 minutes. We have our esteemed speaker with us. We have our champions. Requesting the participants to join in quickly. Ravi sir, warm welcome, sir. You can unmute and speak. I have made you co-host.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Jayanityan from Velalar, I have made you co-host. So while summarizing, you can unmute yourself. So SKQ, today we will have one volunteer from VSET. He will summarize yesterday's session before we invite Gina ma'am to the session.
Just give me a minute. I need to charge my laptop. Just stepping out.
We have few more minutes, ma'am. Before you start, we have
Yeah.
certain other things for 2 minutes.
PALS.
Yep. Yeah, of course. Oh, fine. You unmuted? Okay.
Shall we wait for 2 minutes? Lavana?
Okay, sir, let's wait for 1 more minute, sir. 2 minutes, huh? 2 minutes.
Is the Janapriya joined back?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Just waiting for the house to full.
Because it is going to touch 1,000. Then afterwards you won't be able to join.
You want me to let me stop share?
Already 996 people have joined. Janapriya.
We will go ahead, sir, as you mentioned. So, Ari, can you start the recording, please? So, good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you joining us today Welcome to day 2 of the PALS Student Faculty Development Program on the theme Current Technology Trends and Emerging Industry Opportunities for Future Engineers. And today's topic, as you all know, the rise of autonomous telecom and how AI is reshaping telecommunications. So we are delighted to have you with us once again and hope all of you are looking forward to another day of insightful learning and engaging discussion. So before we begin today's session, although we covered the program guidelines in detail yesterday, I would like to briefly reiterate a very few points which you all know, but I would like to reiterate for a productive experience for everyone. So please rename your Zoom display name as requested yesterday. Have your name hyphen your college name. This will be help us to identify you are from which college. And in the slide office also will be call out by your college name. So please rename your display name. Participants will remain muted by default throughout the session for the smooth delivery of the program, and attendance must be marked using the attendance link, which will be shared in the chat box by Mr. Srihari. And as done yesterday, we will have an interactive slider quiz during the session. To participate, please register your details at the beginning of the session in the link provided. So please complete this also. And if you have any questions to our speaker, you can email us at askpalspmo@gmail.com. This inbox will be actively monitored throughout the session. So when you write in, please mention your name also and your college name so that it will be helpful for us. And if you would like to interact or ask something during the Q&A segment, use the hand raise option and I will unmute you whenever required. And the chat box also will be enabled when required. So please be attentive throughout. And with this, before we move on to today's session, I would like to invite one of our enthusiastic volunteers, Mr. Jayan Nityan from Velala. He actively participated in yesterday's session and he secured the top position on the Slido leaderboard also. So he will now provide a brief recap of yesterday's session for the benefit of everyone, especially those who are joining us today. Gina ma'am, I think this is okay. He will take a few minutes.
Yeah.
Over to
Please.
you, Jayan Nityan. You can go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
I am Jayanithan, currently pursuing my third year of BTech in Artificial Intelligence and Data Science at Palala College of Engineering Technology.
Your voice can be a little louder.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, is it okay now?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I'm Jayanithan Yamma from Palala College of Engineering Technology, currently pursuing my BTech in Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. Alongside my undergraduate degree, I'm also pursuing the Bachelor of Science degree from IIT Madras, which is in the stream of Data Science and Applications. I'm currently in the diploma level of that program. Actually, it's an honor to share my thoughts on yesterday's session of the PALS Faculty Student Development Program on current technology trends and emerging industry opportunities for future engineers. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers and our resource person for delivering such an insightful and inspiring session. In a world where technology evolves almost every day, saying it's updated no longer optional. Actually, it's essential. Yesterday's session reminded us that learning doesn't stop when we leave the classroom. In fact, where the real learning begins. Actually, what impressed me the most was the session didn't introduce the emerging technologies. Actually, it explained why that matter, how industries are adopting them, and as future engineers as leaders to stay relevant to it. It helped the bridge gap and between what we learn academically and what industry expects from us. Being an AIDA student, I found this discussion especially meaningful. It reinforced the learning of continuously building our technical skills, working on practical projects, exploring new tools, and strengthening our problem-solving abilities. More importantly, it reminded me that success in engineering is driven not just by grades, but by curiosity, consistency, and willingness to keep learning. Another highlight of the session was its interactive nature. We are just not passive listeners. We are encouraged to think, participate, and challenge ourselves through a quiz that made the entire experience engaging and memorable. I'm truly grateful to the session and the speakers who have been evolving this session so much useful to us. I would like to encourage my fellow participant students to actively participate in programs like this, every webinar, workshops, or interaction with industry experts and it's a chance to learn something that textbooks alone cannot teach. Before I conclude, I would like to thank the entire PALS team, the organizing committee, and our speaker once again for creating such a valuable experience. I hope to participate in many more sessions like this and continue learning across different domains. Thank you once again and wish you everything for a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, Jainitya, for the very brief and insightful summary. Appreciate your effort. And now it's my pleasure to invite Mr. Pati Lakshminarayanan, PALS champion, to introduce our esteemed speaker for today's session. Over to you, Pati, sir.
Thank you, Lorna. I think it is, I welcome Jinapriya, as well as all the students, faculties, as well as PALS champions to this second day program. Today, the artificial intelligence and then cyber security and cloud computing, whatever you are telling, the backbone is communication. And then without communication, any of these changes are not possible. So when all these technologies are impacting every industry today, the backbone is communication, and then the communication is also having huge explorational challenges as well as growth and changes is happening across all the telecommunication service providers, media, and entertainment. So at the right point of time, we are having an expert, Jinapriya, who is a global delivery head for Gallant, which is a leading AI company. And she's having more than 25 years of experience. She has joined TCS, and then she has done MBA afterwards in UK. She has done all the roles like sales, pre-sales, delivery, design, everything. She's a vivid reader, and then she has traveled to many places and then exploring the various ancient history, and then whatever is behind every rocks in all over India. So I am really happy to welcome Janapriya on the topic autonomous in communication. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. First of all, I'm very grateful for this opportunity to PALS, and more than anything to Pati sir, because one part what he did not say is he is my mentor, my godfather. I joined under him when I was a trainee, and still he has been my guide mentor, whatever you call, right? So if I'm sitting here delivering this, it's my privilege that my mentor introducing me is really this day I would never forget. So he has been the backbone of the knowledge, the opportunity, the growth, whatever I am here today. It's all, the whole credit goes to Mr. Pati sir, nobody else in the world. That's the whole thing. I would really grateful for this opportunity. And coming back to the, thank you, sir. I need to thank you here. You are very humble. You didn't even speak about all the opportunities what I got. So coming back to the session, okay. So this session, please feel free to put your comments in the chat or questions, or let it be interactive. Okay, the two parts of this session. One is about the AI, second is about the telecom industry. The reason why telecom industry I have picked this one, I have worked all along in telecom domain, most of my from domain perspective. Though I'm a very technologist, I have a domain flavor on telecom. Second is telecom is the backbone, as Pati sir mentioned. Telecom is the backbone for every industry. Take healthcare. All your machines in the hospital are connected via wires. The wires are fibers. The fibers are again telecom. Go to any supermarket, you will be connected with, the Paytm, you pay anything. They are connected via Wi-Fi or via some, LAN, anything. That's again telecom. Take airlines, all your monitoring systems, all the inside devices, all those things run in bandwidth. Okay, again it is telecom. So everywhere the telecom is the backbone. And it's a very interesting industry. Okay, everybody. So let's get into the session and then we'll see how much it is going to be relevant to you. Just give me a minute. I'm going to share my screen. I hope you are able to see the screen.
Perfect. Perfect. Just
Okay, sure. Okay. So the intent of this session is not to teach you about AI, not to teach you about telecom, but to bring a curiosity around telecom, bring a curiosity about AI and what's going around in AI, and what is the hype, what is the reality, and how, as a student, or if some of the faculties have joined, probably they know better on some of the networking principles. But from how the industry spawns out, right? Let's go with that mode. Okay. So a lot of us, right, even in inside our house, our apartment, or you go out some kind of trekking or you travel, a lot of us have shouted on our phone, right? The signal is not there. I'm not able to hear. The company is doing bad. The connection is bad. The tower is not there. I don't know why this company is providing this kind of network. Let me change the network. Okay, so that's where we actually shout at a telecom company, though it has traveled throughout. But the problem actually is not about the telecom at all. Probably inside the house we would have been sitting near a brick wall, concrete wall. Concrete is arrested for all your signals. Okay, and if we have a very good Wi-Fi in our house and we are 2 rooms away, sometimes the bandwidth goes up, sometimes the bandwidth goes down. When you're in office or you're doing some coding, it goes down, or you're watching Netflix, it goes down, right? So that's also because of some of the environmental factors, not just because of the network. When we are traveling, we are moving from tower to tower, we are moving from the cell to cell, and we are dropping off, but we are again thinking it is because of telecom. So that's the only industry where, as customers on daily routine, we blame all the corporate giants for the simple law of physics, for the simple law of science of resistance, and the drop and the bandwidth capacity. Okay, I hope you have all shouted at your phone, right? Next time when you shout, please remember it's not, it may not be just because of Airtel or Reliance or BSNL. Okay. Okay, so what is telecom? Okay, so telecom, if you think of telecom, watch Netflix. What are we watching? We are watching voice, we are watching video, we are watching a speed of the scenes. All these are actually, and you're in a retail shop buying, swiping your card or paying by GPay. It says payment successful, right? All these points, what happens is lot of data bytes gets passed between one point to another. And this moving of data across the space, now it has become data. Once upon a time, it was just a voice, right? Analog voice. Then now it is data and different dimensional data. So movement of data one point to another is actually the basic principle of telecom. And how that happens has different structures around it. You have infrastructure that helps on moving this data from one place to another. You pay a bill, it goes to some bank, validates, come back, all through it goes via fiber routing. The fiber route gets optic fiber gets routed via towers, could be satellites. If you are outside some place, it could be satellites, and it is throughout a network. And if that's on the infrastructure side. Okay, and how much do you have money? Can I actually?
Yeah, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. Sorry to
Uh-huh.
interrupt. Can you share your screen once again, ma'am?
It's gone.
It's just gone.
Just a minute.
Just
I didn't even do anything.
not about you here, ma'am.
Okay, is it okay? Yeah.
Yeah, perfectly fine. You can hide the pop-up message also.
Okay, sure. Okay,
Perfect.
done. Thanks. Thank you, Lana. Okay. So if I have to tell telecom in plain English, now whatever we are seeing, right? This Zoom call has underlying underlying data that is running through millions of fiber optic networks, going to thousands of your homes, including mine. And it hops between different towers, goes through different optic fibers, it consumes all the different fibers, and somebody has joined not from India, probably there could be a satellite pop also. That's exactly what telecom in a physical reality. Now let's get into the architecture. Okay, the way I have put the session across is just an introduction, and then when we talk about how the architecture of telecom industry has been, all the telecom systems has been, and then we move into some of the AI use cases. Okay, if you're getting bored, please don't make this as monologue. Please feel free to raise your hand or ask questions. It will be much easier. Okay, so when you talk about a telecom operator, right? How does a telecom operator operate? What are the different components that come into? So most of you, some of you could be a CSE student, could be a EC, could be a triple E, lot of, right? You would have studied system design or architecture principles in some paper, second year, third year, or third semester, somewhere, right? So you'd have seen how a architecture of any system could have been designed. So I'm going to talk about a very similar architecture for telecom. Okay, so there are two set of systems that works in a complementary way or a coordinated way in telecom. One is the BSS, second is the OSS. So BSS is the business support system. What is a business support system? When you go to a shop to buy a SIM, and you see what are the plans that are available, then somebody enters your name, puts that into their system. That's all CRM. Somebody records all our data, right? And after that, there is a order placed against, say, Lavana, and it goes through a order management system. Then it gets allocates the SIM for them, and then starts a billing cycle. That's exactly what a business support system does, where it supports the business operating principle of a industry. Any architecture should cater to that. It need not be a BSS. In healthcare, it could be different. In this one, here it is called as BSS. Coming to OSS, what happens after the SIM gets, you put the, Lavana puts the SIM in the, sorry Lavana, I'm just using your name. That's all.
No problem.
Okay, so don't mind. So Lavana puts it in, and she tries to activate it. What happens during the time? Some system goes and verifies whether the SIM actually belongs to the inventory of Airtel or Jio or some operator, BSNL, right? So that is the inventory management check. So there is a physical check as well as logical check. Whether can I give this bandwidth, say 5 GB consumption to Lavana, that gets provisioned. Then it also gets into network provisioning, and after it gets provisioned, it has to be continuously given, right? She gets a SIM, activates, and she doesn't get a 1 GB after that. No data comes out. That's a problem. So there comes service assurance, which actually maintains the physical inventory and the delta inventory. What happens, right? And all through, the quality of the network also needs to be monitored. That's a network monitoring system. All these are typically interacting with the core hardware layer, firmware layer of a telecom. It interacts with tower, it interacts with your master records, it interacts with the physical SIM, right? All of you, most of you would have studied about microcontrollers, microprocessors, all those systems, right? So, and your what is that, PCBs, right? So all those VLSI circuits, most of these components, most of these components are millions of VLSI circuits. That's what stays here. That is the OSS. So OSS is the core that actually delivers the service, and BSS is the system that actually supports the OSS to actually. So nothing can be done if I'm going to go and put a code in microcontroller. There should be a display that actually triggers. So if I'm writing a code on a microcontroller, triggering a speed of a motor, right? So some output needs to be there, comes to a switch. There should be a dashboard in the, you might have done some of the projects on traffic management or something like that, right? There would be a dashboard that will actually trigger, and it goes as a trigger in your C hash code or something like that. So OSS all belongs to your firmware. BSS is the dashboard or the front-ending system that actually supports the system. Okay, all these things are your domain and all of these system will actually interact with, could be a web system if you're going to pay your bill in via web, would be a mobile because you would probably watch Netflix and consume the data, and you call customer support who can actually help you all these things. So these are the channel layers which actually gets the input into these business BSS and OSS. Okay, all these are components what I've explained, right? We'll go into some parts of technical languages, etc. also. All these systems, once upon a time, used to stay in something called data center. Probably if you're a Gen Z, you may not, you might have heard about data centers, may not even be familiar because you're all in cloud. So data center are physical data centers which will be dedicated to a system from where all the storage happens. It's like a server room. It's like a server room, or you have, if you have a desktop, probably you'll have a desktop, right? Consider I have a desktop for the size of a building. That's called a data center, physical on-prem data center used to reside in on-prem. Now, after AWS, or sorry, any cloud, AWS, Azure, Google coming in, all the infrastructure of VSS and OSS, it's a software, right? All the software return are all hosted in the cloud. And all these things also interact with all your firmware layer, which is your your tower. When you go through any roads, probably see your left and right, you will always see some mobile tower coming with you. So if I have to talk about that architecture, BSS and OSS are the core systems for telecom, supported by the channel layer, which gets the input for all these layers, and this is hosted on an infrastructure of some kind of cloud. And there is a firmware which physically gives the connection, optic fiber, and all the 5G. We'll come to what are the softwares that you need to learn in the fag end of this session. Okay, so if I have to in give a one liner, BSS is what you see in your when you log in, or when you see in your phone, in your Airtel or Geo app. OS is something that actually delivers your network. When you see no network, it is OS's problem. Okay, okay, now moving, why is what's the exact problem or complexity of telecom? Okay, you have billions of events. The events are not now, even before, even 15 years, 20 years before, there were billions of events, and the processing of these events has to happen. Once upon a time, the bill generation, I'm just taking a very simple example. You all get a bill, right? Probably you would not have seen a paper bill. Probably you might have seen pay your postpay bill, and you might get a pop-up in your Airtel. So if you go through, there will be a lot of line items. That bill generation used to take 2 weeks, 3 weeks of time once upon a time. Now it takes hardly 1 hour, 2 hour for a customer, probably even seconds, right? So this is one portion. There would be thousands of events. If you are watching Dhoni's match, thousands of people, or even here in Zoom, thousands of people have logged in. So there would be billions of events that are happening underneath. So there is a billions of event, and that can actually lead to complex outages. Outages will not be now very easy, because if you see, the system itself is complex. So the outages where the fault happens is very difficult to find out on a physical manual way. And these systems are 24/7. It's more like a doctor, right? If you are a surgeon, you could be called anytime. Telecom, if it goes down in a hospital on a healthcare or a critical care, it's a problem, right? So it's a 24/7 business a telecom operator will always have. And that's where the humanly possibility to AI comes in. Okay. Okay. Now let's jump into what is AI, what is going to be in general, and then we'll go into some of the use cases of telecom. Is really AI going to replace humans? I don't think so. AI will not replace humans, but AI will replace humans who will not going to understand AI or not going to use AI. If you are going to be AI savvy, if you are going to be adapting to AI, then I don't think there is a problem. So That's on student level, faculty level, or from a people level. From AI company level, sorry, telecom company level, it will not autonomously run any telecom company. Or will it go and replace all the engineers? It will not. But you will need AI to run a very complex system across very smoothly. The lightning speed what we are requesting, right? Not just on Netflix, on a healthcare or on a genetic engineering or on a rocket launch. If I need all those things, I will definitely need more than capacity of what a human can physically do. Human brain can think, but can I execute it quickly? I don't think so, but AI will do. That's where AI's advantages. Okay, let's get into just a slide to separate out hype, and then we'll get into the use cases. Okay, so from autonomy per se, AI will help specific operational teams to work faster. It's not just in telecom, in any company. Okay, if you have done some Cloud Code or Claude's skill jar, some of the courses, they'll say that delegate the work that will take time consuming, do the thinking on yourself, and use AI as assistance. So that's exactly what Anthropic says, right? That's one of the leading AI players. Exactly what is going to happen is, for any operational team to work faster, AI will help. It will not replace them. Same way, if you want to do a predict a trend, and can I actually increase tomorrow, there is going to be a T20. Will my outage be there? How much a network is required? Should I increase the bandwidth? That kind of heavy historical math, rather than a human doing, AI will do better. And what should I focus on? What is the priority? That focusing prioritization can be easily picked up by AI. And on top of it, we'll also go through some of the changes, right? So there is a problem as well. AI can hallucinate, can give you wrong answers, unless we put, as a human being, as a company, as a student, or as a user, we should be able to understand how much you can rely on AI, and this is the reality of AI from hype. Okay, so let's move into what are the different ways in telecom AI is being used. It's widely used, and we are going to see 8 or 9 use cases. Okay, so widely used on network operations. You can actually do a dynamic routing. You can predict a failure. Tomorrow there is going to be outage, or there is a event that has happened. How long will it take uh, to come back to the original position, and can I do a backup? All those operations can be delegated to AI. It will give you intelligence and you can execute it. Same way, fraud and customer detection. If you are using Airtel now, you will always get a spam, Airtel spam. That message, if you have seen on the calls, right? That's a AI detector. AI goes behind, checks all the mass callers, and does a lot of spam checks, and it is using AI technology. I'm just giving you some example where on day to day life you might be using AI, right? And also in some cases we would be getting messages, or if you open your app and you say some of the outages coming up, right? All the infrastructure usages, right? That is also being some of the practical examples of AI that is being used in telecom. Okay, what are the different real life use cases? Okay, before we go into real life use cases, I want to run through 3 parts of AI. Okay, uh, not just telecom, in general. Okay, you can have a Gen AI. There could be a agentic AI, and on other one, which is actually a commonality between these two, is data, but I'm also bringing data as a separate line item. So if you really want to work on any of the AI, right, you have to, if you're going to mix and match all, you can pick up one of them and master as well. So Gen AI is something like, it's a siloed work. You give the work, it does. Okay, Chat GPT, your Copilot. If you have used Copilot, Claude, using for coding, right? Just ask it to correct the code, it gives you. ask it to a lot of you would be doing a lot of reels or some of the images for your post, Insta and all those places, right? If you're asking the AI to create image, that is a Gen AI. Those are all a typical single operation AI that uses intelligence and completes one task absolutely right. So it takes a system, goes through, you give a prompt, it will create an image. That's only one job. It is not a multitasking. So that's a Gen AI, and you can compare it with the author. Okay. There is another system called Agentic AI. Agentic AI is something that I have 3 or 4 agents, Gen AI agents created. Okay, let me take an example. Most of you could be Gen Zs, right? So you would have an Insta page, might have an Insta page, some of you, right? And some of you could be influencers as well. I don't know. So I pick up a time and tell my bot to do an image, create an image, post it at this time, and see and tag these people, or check if these are influencers and send them as message. There are 3 different tasks. One, it should create image. It should, for creating image, if you have told that pick up the current trend and create image, then it has to first analyze the current trend. That's one agent. It has to create an image. That's second. Then it has to go and post in some Insta, some page, right? Post and also check and send messages for some of the key people whom you want. There are 4. So that's a sequence of tasks. If you are able to do this sequence of tasks, that's all. That is a simplest definition of agent AI. Okay. Now coming back to telecom. Where does Gen AI, coming back to from Insta to the current session, right? Where does Gen AI sit? So if you are calling a customer care, or if you are doing a chat and it is responding, right? I log in and say, it addresses me, hi Gina, right? Automated support assistant picks up all your tickets, analyzes and responds. That's a Gen AI, typical Gen AI. And if I have a problem, last month I had a billing problem. Will I have a billing problem? Should I be reminded? That's again a Gen AI. If you are using, you might be using GitHub and probably some of VS Code or some editor, right? So if you have a Copilot integrated, it debugs all those things, right? Similarly, code generation and debug for telecom can be done. Those are simple Gen AI use cases in telecom. From agentic AI perspective, what are the different agentic? I gave you an example of Insta, right? But if from telecom perspective, your network self-healing. So a network is down, but there is a Dhoni is coming for fielding. That actually happened. Reliance Jio did that. But let's get into this. Okay. So can I actually, there is one tower, there is a problem. Can I reroute this? Can I do a rerouting and self-heal the network meanwhile, and still give the customer a continuity? That's a self-healer. There are multiple steps to do, and all the multiple steps are done automatically. That's agentic AI in telecom. And another one example. Okay. So there could be a persona. There are personas now, even in Airtel and other companies. There is an agent that actually acts right from I log in to complete my billing query and also make me buy another add-on package, right? That resolution agent, it has multiple steps. It's not just analyzing and solving my problem, analyzing and telling this is the bill amount you are paying. No, there are multiple steps. That's a typical agent AI. Okay. So, and there are autonomous refunds that can happen on complex credits. You buy in Amazon, automatic credit happens. That's also a fundamental background processing that is done by AI. This is agent AI. The third one which I wanted to talk is, this should not be a separate one which we should be talking, but I want to talk because this is a beautiful area where we don't see a lot of engineers coming out. We see data engineers and all those things, but do they come with an domain knowledge is a different one, right? So data is very, very key in any industry, for that matter, for telecom. So if you have watched a lot of series, right? Forensic. If there is a hack, if there is a crime scene, they would be doing a lot of forensic, right? In a lot of forensics, your call data records are very key. The tower pings, the mobile switched off time. You would have watched a lot of things. All those are logs. Those are data footprints. We can do wealth of things with the data. One, uh, forget about the crime scene. One, if I know somebody is entering in the shopping mall and I know there, I can actually do a dynamic selling of things. Okay, you're going to cross through fossil. Pop up a fossil ad. So and somebody enters there. The company also gets monetized, and you're also going to, there is a consumption, right? So logs, data is the next oil. That's what we say. Telecom data is very key. And whatever the behavioral of real time, right? The real time data, the largest, what happens with every sim, every moment. You share the live location in WhatsApp. It actually goes through for your Uber or for whatever, right? Or your in WhatsApp, you share the live location is again data going via a tower somewhere in telecom industry. So the data side of thing is the third vertical in AI, which I want to emphasize because the complete AI functionality relies on good data. Are you able to look at the data, mash it up, build trends? Are you able to do mathematical calculation to do network operations? All these things comes out of data. So one can be expert in Gen AI, stay there. One can be expert in agentic AI, stay there. And one can be expert in data. Data lies in all the other two as well, but you will only touch point. Data is another vertical in AI that is very key. Okay. Now let's go into different use cases of telecom. So what we have seen till now, we have talked about telecom architecture. We also spoke what is real, what is hype, what you can rely. And we also spoke about three different prongs of AI, not just in telecom. In general, you have a Gen AI, agent AI, and also a data layer, right? Now, from telecom perspective, what are the different? I'm going to quickly pass through these use cases. Can you predict outages initially when a tower fails? Right? Even electricity fails, we don't know. There will be a lot of power cuts. Now you get a message, you will know. Similarly, initially, when there is a tower fail or there is a that happened during flood time and all. So people used to call there is a tower failure, used to check with the neighbors, etc. Now it's not. Now you actually continuously can monitor the data pings, telemetry signals, predict there is going to be a outage in this space because of a infrastructure failure, or it could be because of too much of usages there, right? All those things, and the traffic can be rerouted automatically. So that's a predicting outages is actually happening in telecom using AI. It's a real time. Whatever you are using today happens. Churn prediction. What is a churn prediction? See, today we go with one operator. Tomorrow I don't want. This operator is not giving me 5G data, 5GB data, not a consistent one, but this person is giving me with the one of the AI tool, giving perplexity for free, or giving what do you say? Giving a Netflix account as free. And can I, if I'm thinking this, can my telecom company predict that, think that Gina is thinking like this, she's going to move away from me. Currently, if I'm with one operator, I'm going to move to second telecom giant. Can I do that prediction? And can that company, the original company, stop Gina from moving to the other company? Yes, it can be done by my behavioral analysis. How much I recharge? I have a lot of dropped calls, but I don't even bother to call customer care. All right. And there is a slow data, there is outage, but I don't even bother. The moment that interference can, the behavioral pattern of a person also can predict that the behavioral pattern is a huge amount of data. Like me, there will be billions of people, right? So all those data coming in, and I can actually predict the churn. Somebody is moving from one person to another and do that. That is also being done by a lot of telecom companies. Jio has done that, and Airtel also has predicted. And if you are a high value customer, example, you have a family plan or something like that, right? All together, right? They definitely ensure that the churn prediction is applied on that particular bill and predicted, and then necessary actions are taken. AI runs on that. Okay. There are customer bots. Example, you go log in. Most of you would be using app, right? Today, just go and log in any website, the banking website or any website, yeah, telecom website, right? Airtel website, there is a bot. You actually ask it question, it will give you the answers. That is a typical AI that actually sits. AI bots have been long enough now. That is the oldest, initial, most uh, earliest use cases, customer bots. Okay. Speed spikes. Okay. Can I actually, again, like the outage, can I actually understand where my speed is going to spike, and can I actually shift the spectrum? Example, for one of the matches when Dhoni came out for batting, the spike was so high. They were actually predicting on screen how much was the viewership of many of the matches, etc. Right? Literally, the bandwidth had to be spiked and managed. The infrastructure, should I make my infrastructure up to manage a better experience? This was a use case. This was done by Reliance Jio, in fact. So I can actually do a speed spike. Dhoni was one example. Okay, take a flood situation, or there is a calamity, there is a problem, and there is a hospital situation, and people are on life support or on critical care or some monitoring system. That time the bandwidth and the infrastructure, the speed are going to be very, very high. Can I actually predict that and focus and divert my infrastructure there? It is being done currently with the help of AI, because AI brings the speed of execution of whatever thought and ideas we feed in. Field operations. Okay. So there is a call for a customer. You can still see some of the agents coming in and fixing ACT and fibers and all, right? So they would so which customer should I choose? It's like a Swiggy and Zomato. What is your high value customer or a priority customer? That also helps in field operations and also on reducing field operations, because now if you see any installation of a fiber router, right? Router, it comes with the box, and you don't actually need a manual. You scan the app, scan the QR code. That gives you step by step of the complete installation, where you would have needed a person to come into your home to do the installation plugin. Now it's not even required. So the field operations is another space in telecom where AI has stepped in. Okay. In call center, lot of call centers, right? A lot of call center deploy agents, AI agents. So the analyzing the client sentiment, should I, how do you deal? It's a very humanized agents are there. You won't even predict whether you are talking to an agent or a human. And the churn of agents have a lot of patience before even it gets passed to a human. That's another place. One more is the autonomous roadmap, network roadmap. Okay, this is one part which I have given from the point of network spikes and all. Other place, what I wanted to also, this was one live project which we did for one of the US telecom company, right? So if I have to install a tower, and there are n number of devices that have to be installed, I'll probably install, but it cannot be immediately switched on. Okay, so you have a house, you have a remote in some remote place, you go and buy a house, or there is a town where I want to roll out. There could be different units. It could be a terrain, mountainous terrain. It could be a completely a different type of infrastructure, right? So these agents the people can go install the device, but I can't really switch on the device because the network may not be ready. And after the installation, instead of human going switching it on and doing a patch, doing a monitoring, AI does now. It's actually happening now in most of the mountain terrains, and US some places they have been implemented. In India, Switzerland and all they have implemented. Automatically, this is not related to this slide. This slide is a different one which I actually covered. Right, you can configure a different routing tables and hardware spikes and Dhoni example and all we took, right? Apart from that, I'm talking a real-time example which we did some recent times, where I want to upgrade the device. I want to add more streets, more homes to that device so that it caters to that. All those things now doesn't require a human intervention. If you write the logic and tell the system, it automatically does the autonomous network roadmap. It automatically repairs. Automatically, if there is a degradation, it actually spawns another hardware and does that via cloud. Cloud also has helped there. Okay. Another example is fraud detection. So a lot of swim swaps, spam call detections, OTP scams, all those things are now monitored by AI. We have a very good AI security shield, and it has become our first line of defense there. Last but not least, and probably many of you are also into this green energy, etc., right? So a lot of energy saving. Initially, we used to monitor all the data centers and all the spaces. How much cooling should be there? Should you switch on? Should you switch off? What's your blocking status, etc. Now all those complete um, analytics and dynamic power shutdown, shut off, or the bots acting there, right? Uh, all those have been automated on green energy. Cyber defense, again, AI has come in. We still have a cyber defense team, etc. But the automation of, can I monitor, can I dynamically mitigate if there is a ransomware coming in, can I actually predict, can that actively keep on checking and hunt the attackers, is also being done by AI. And cyber defense is a big place where AI plays a very good space there. Okay. Okay. Where does AI fail? As I said, two things. One is AI cannot replace human, but it will replace a human who doesn't know AI. Where will not human know, doesn't know? There could be a lot of instance, right? The AI can fail where you give it bad data. You go give a bad prompt, even in general, it gives you bad. It will give you a very good, but will that be accurate? No. So if I am not able to do a call record properly, my basic systems are bad, and I don't have a data, AI will not be able to predict. So basic foundation system, whatever we spoke on the BSS, OSS, right? Basic foundation system should be solid so that AI can actually use the data to help you make good decisions. Second is, there are a lot of infinite support loops we have seen in AI. Those are some that happens because of a lot of hallucinations with AI. That's what we have seen in AI. Okay, some of before we move into the another piece of uh, we'll just look at some of the AI use cases in India. I just picked up some of the Indian companies. So Reliance has actually implemented network optimization. What you saw, Dhoni's match telecast and all, right? The network optimization, traffic congestion was very smartly managed by AI there. Their fiber rollout. So there are a lot of fiber rollout happening across the industry, right? So if you can actually, have the network roadmap, not roadmap, the traffic layer, and your highest hop paths being documented. That's very intelligently done by AI. It was done manually years ago. In fact, we implemented one of the system, say 15 years ago, but that time AI was not there. It took a long time for us even to think about that for one of the UK companies. Now it is really super fast now. And also our Reliance also has, all the IT ops. They have built all your customer care, support, agents, etc. They have built. Bharti Airtel is very good. Airtel, your day-to-day usage on spam shield, you would have seen, right? And there are music feeds, intelligent music feeds that are that also comes as part of this Airtel app. And energy management is another one that being implemented by Airtel. From Vodafone has done a very good implementation use case on churn predictor and outage predictor. VI does that outage predictor very well. BSNL has entered into the space, not very much, but it's a very long depth experience company, right? So they have brought some of these service support. That's some of the live actual day-to-day use cases which you see today in India. I have not even touched the other places. Okay. Uh, should we take a pause? Because I want to talk about what what are the different skill sets we will need from telecom and from AI. Lavana, should we take a pause or we can continue?
We can continue, ma'am. So for no
Okay.
question, but I am encouraging students to post your question. You can mail the question to us. We will have it at the end.
Sure. Okay. So till now we have spoken about a telecom architecture, the use cases, and what is agentic Gen AI and data, and we also spoke about use cases and live examples of what is there in Indian telecom. Right now, I am getting into the point that what are the different career options that we will need to be an expert of telecom. Okay, so there are three major players in telecom and also AI. One is all the operators, right? The operators brings you the BSS, OSS, strategy, funding, everything, right? So all your and spectrum, they own the spectrum. The TRI owns the spectrum. They take for the bandwidth and use it, right? The physical spectrum, fiber, etc. So that's one option where somebody can go and work for a telecom company. Second, IT powerhouses, any integrators who actually write the system of BSS, OSS, the integration platforms is another space where somebody can get into a telecom project and work for it. Okay, I was part of the second one. Third is the cloud giant, which has become a fundamental now for anything to survive on this world. We are now relying on all the hyperscalers, cloud infrastructure, and all those things. That's another space, very interesting space. How do you scale up a cloud for a telecom is another space where somebody can go and work for. In any of these spaces, you can specialize in telecom. Okay. Now, what do we need? One second. Let's get into what do you need? What should somebody study to get into become a good telecom player? Before we even talk about telecom, right? This is all I always say, and this is what all my mentors taught as well. Whatever you are doing, please be strong in that. If you are doing your engineering, be strong in your subjects. If you are doing for a 4-year course, 5-year course, there are core subjects that you are learning. You would have learned civil engineering first year. That is a stress that comes when if you are going to work on a firmware, you would probably designing a board that will also include that calculation. So if you are in a ECE or a triple E, learn about the resistors, capacitors, and your all your circuits. Your network engineering is very key. Okay, so all those papers, your network, computer networks, data communication. I'm sure all of you would have had that paper, right? Wireless networks is another one. your diameter protocols, etc., would have also be part of your computer networks paper. These are telecom foundations. If you really, we can work on a BSS system or a OS system, but underlying what happens, if you know, that would be your unique selling point. That's your USP that will ensure that you will succeed. So that's the foundation in telecom that applies to other domains as well. But in telecom, these are the key ones. Okay. Apart from that, there is a OSS and BSS workflow that also is a telecom foundation. That's on domain. Next comes the AI and data science engine. Before AI and data science engine, there is one more key part which I want to talk about is the architecture. Any system design that has to be done, we should know how to do a architecture. What are the different components? How are you going to interact? How are the microservices going to interact here? What is the API coming in? So one should be very, very strong in full stack. Pick up any technology. It could be a .NET, it could be Java, but one should know the front end, one should know the back end, one should know the API interaction and also database, right? If you learn from ChatGPT, doesn't matter, but you should be able to thoroughly understand what the code does. If there is a query, you should be able to correct it. You should be able to create a database optimized. It could be a Postgre or it could be Oracle, doesn't matter. One should have a deep knowledge on the full stack. Then comes your AI and data science engineering, which sits on top of this full stack, where you will have Python, Kafka, all your algorithms coming in. On top of it is your LLM, LangChain, your agentic AI, AWS Bedrock, and all those things. So if one can master all these things, one will be a full-fledged AI engineer, full stack, forward deployed engineer with a strong AI foundation with the domain flavor. And domain flavor is key for anyone to succeed in any industry. For that matter, for telecom, that's very key. And that's all. I'm just completing. So altogether, AI will not replace all engineers. But if we are not going to understand how we will leverage AI, not outsource our brain, but outsource some of the manual work that we do, and we don't know how to leverage AI, then those people will be replaced. So we just need to be on edge learning. That's the message I would like to leave here. Thank you, Lavana.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an engaging and insightful session. And it continues the momentum from yesterday. Your ability to break down the complex ideas from OSS, BSS architecture to the real difference between GenAI and agentic AI with such a clarity made the session both easy and genuinely enjoyable, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. And I think before proceeding to the Q&A, shall I go to the Slido quiz, ma'am?
Yeah, please.
Quiz. Yeah.
I'm going to stop sharing.
Share,
yeah.
Hari, you can post the Slido link once again here. And let me share my screen. Participants, please log into the Slido. Let's have a Slido quiz before the Q&A segment. Please register your details. Get ready. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Yes. 2 more entries. I'm waiting for 2 more minutes. Only 295. Yeah, only 300. We could see around 4,000 participants have marked their attendance. Requesting all of you to join. I'll wait for a few minutes. We have heard a lot of things from Gina ma'am, and all the 10 questions is from that session only. So let's see. It will be interesting. And it's a time quiz. Each question we have 25 to 30 seconds. So you can answer those questions and we will have the leaderboard in between. Just stay on your web browser and watch out for the questions. I'm ready to start that. I'm waiting for a few more people. Since we have time, waiting for a few others. You have to be a little bit fast. Participants, students who are watching via YouTube, please log into Slido. You can use the link and either you can scan the QR code also. And you can feel free to post your question also if you have anything by the meantime. Yes, we reach 1K. I am moving to the first question. 25 seconds for this question. What is the primary role of PSS? I have given 25 seconds for you to slowly read and respond. Quite some people felt yesterday 20 seconds will be very short for them, so we have increased that to 5 more seconds. Yeah, let's see. The answer has been distributed. Let's see the correct answer. Yes, 54% made it right. And I'm moving to the second question. Dina ma'am and other speakers, you can probably see the Zoom screen. I'm sharing the screen. You can also see the answers.
Yes, yes.
Second question is here. Why is manual intervention increasingly insufficient for modern telecommunication network management? All these have been largely covered by Gina ma'am. Okay, let's see the answer. Yes, 72% made it right. And I'm moving to the third one. How AI viewed in terms of its impact on human engineers, according to the industry perspective. Okay, 84%. Let's see. Yes, that is the correct answer. Option B is the correct answer. I'm moving to the fourth one. Fastest finger with the right answer will be displayed in the leaderboard. What is a significant risk factor mentioned when deploying Gen AI in support environments? Let's see. Option B is the right answer. Now, I'm just moving to the first question here. Which of the following is a primary benefit of AI-driven network self-healing? Seven more seconds. Good to see around 2,000 plus participants are participating. Okay. Yes, option C is the correct answer. And here is the leaderboard. Participant, just check your Zoom screen. Come to your Zoom screen. Manirajan, again, Jayanityan from Velalar, who gave us the summary today. Priyan and MEC, Pradeep, Devasurya, got 5 out of 5. And the fastest finger are showing here. Let's see the next 5 question and let us see whether Manirajan and Jayanityan coming in front. Moving to the 6th question. Then go to your web browser. Check for the sixth question, 20 seconds for this. Have to be a bit fast. Let's see the correct answer. Yes. Analyzing real-time signaling parameters is the right answer. Moving to the seventh question. Which skill set is described as a winning combination for future leaders in the telecom industry? %92 opted for C. Let's see. Yes, that is the correct answer. And moving to the eighth question. Very good to see so many people are participating, around 2,500 students, either faculty. Mix of students and faculty are participating in this Slido also. Okay. We have a mix of answers. Yes, option A is the correct one. And moving to the ninth one. How is AI currently being applied to network infrastructure maintenance? Thirteen more seconds. And let's see the answer, correct answer. Yes, option B is the right answer. Moving to the 10th question. Last question. Who is typically responsible for owning data and the spectrum? Okay. Then there is a lot of distribution. And yes, 2% made it right. And requesting all the participants, now you can come to the Zoom screen. You can take a screenshot, either photo. We have Deva Surya from MPC, Prithviraj, PN, Saravanan, Mamata. All of you got 10 out of 10. Very good. Congratulate all the participants. Let me stop my share. Hope you all enjoyed. So now let's move to the Q&A segment. I would like to enable the chat box also. I already have received one question, but I am enabling the chat. You can ask a question in the chat box also. We have quite some time, but we have our eminent speaker also with us. Tina ma'am, the first question is here in the chat box from Balaji. I have just posted. Do you want to respond or should I read it for you, ma'am?
I'm just reading autonomous.
From Siddharth Balaji from Rajalakshmi.
Yeah, I'm reading it, ma'am. Okay, very interesting question. So, when a telecom network for a connected healthcare, the question is, if I am going to deploy a standard industrial or consumer deployment, how can I compare that with a healthcare system or a critical unit system? That's the question that Siddharth Balaji from REC has asked, right? So, your bandwidth latency, your latency is very critical there. On a industrial usage or a standard system, if there is a time lag, that's okay. If you watch Netflix with some latency, it's okay. But on a connected critical, so there is a robotic surgery that's happening. That happens now, right? A lot of hospitals, Kaveri Hospital has introduced a lot of hospitals, and they have a underlying system, telecom system. So there, the SD-WAN, the architecture, a network architecture of the SD-WANs, and how do you distribute the network, how do you reduce the latency comes into picture, and that's a complete that will be the key, some of the key parameters when we actually design a critical unit telecom network for a healthcare or a mining industry, etc. Mining, when they go deep inside, right? That's also one of the critical use cases. That's how. And how does AI autonomy layer comes into picture is a very good point as well. So if there is going to be outage, or if there is going to be a lot of bandwidth consumption in some of the devices. So G has some of, if you go and in any hospital, if you watch over the your MRI and all the other network equipments, there could be different companies, right? So when we know, when they introduce a new device, right? So there are some of the key factors which even the companies analyze. How much is the latency? How much is the bandwidth consumption the particular device is doing? Because if I'm generating, if I'm discovering or inventing a device and putting in a hospital which consumes the bandwidth, two things might happen. My device might compete with other devices, and I'm going to choke the network. All those problem statements needs to be addressed, and that can be effectively addressed by a good questions in that.
Thank you for responding. A few more questions are coming. Merlin Sam has asked, how do cloud data centers train AI models using thousands of GPUs? Can you explain the process?
Train AI models using Southern. Can you explain the process? Cloud data center train the AI data models using thousands of. That's completely a different topic out of this session, but I'll still just touch upon. Probably you should read through this completely. So the cloud, the question is very interesting. How do cloud data center train AI models using thousands of GPUs? Can you explain the process? The process is very complicated, but the data models, the models what we have as data, right? So even if you now go and see your LLM models, you could probably see the latest model, go one model minus one model, and you go and ask questions. The data, I'm talking from a consumer perspective. I'm not even talking from a cloud data center or from an Anthropic perspective. Even our data gets used for their training, right? So that's a complete different paradigm, probably that I itself will consume one session. So I'm going to, for now, I'm going to skip that question.
So Shyama is asking, what are the resources to learn? I think some reference
from the technology.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the resources? So in your college, if I don't know what group you belong to, what department, right? EC, EEE, CSE, doesn't matter. If you're going to get into telecom or any for that matter, be thorough in full stack. One technology, Java or .NET, be thorough, front end, back end, API, given application, you should be able to develop along with the database. That's caters for the IT, right? On top of it, learn a LLM language, some kind of, Bedrock, LangChain, Crew, and apart from that, learn Python. That satisfies AI. These are only technologies. Apart from that, learn architecture. All these things you can either learn from your college syllabus, mostly college syllabus. So if you are able to study or do your, justice to the papers, college papers, probably you will learn very well. Second, go to library. If you have not attempted, please go to library. You will get lot and loads of resources, or check it. Nothing. You don't need a Udemy or Coursera. Just go check in YouTube. YouTube has beautiful videos, hours together videos to learn. You can actually do any kind of deployment learning there. Come back. You have if you want to try out Oracle, if you want to try out React, right? You go download the open source developer version. You can register yourself. Try out one POC. Just go Google and YouTube. You will get thousands of videos. I'm giving you the least possible options. I'm not even complicating. All of you know YouTube, right? You don't need a Udemy, Coursera. You can actually do that as well. And apart from that, if you have to learn telecom, there are loads of books in library, loads of videos in YouTube. If you go and search in some of the Internet Archive or Harvard groups as well, you have a lot of books. Start from basics of telecom. You should be able to. And apart from telecom, in general, whatever you are learning, whatever project you are doing, right? I see a lot of interns coming with the different projects, traffic light management, diagnosing of different diseases and all. If you are doing your code, you should be able to explain your code when you are coming for an interview or when you are going for a job. Second, please learn about the domain what you are researching for. If you are doing in healthcare, please learn about that domain. Don't just be one another. And the functionality is very key.
Yeah. Somebody is saying your network is breaking. Probably here the network is perfect. You have to check from your end. That's what I want to tell. And a lot of questions, Dina ma'am, facilitate actually. I would like to read few questions, ma'am. Because
one by Gina, 1 minute. There are some questions. One question I want to answer with the permission of Gina is, what is autonomous communication was very beautifully explained. So where AI is definitely used and going to be a big thing is latency reduction. And then mainly in the customer behavior understanding and then giving what is required for them. And then their AI will definitely play a big role. So if you are the simple use cases, if you are on-demand videos, how you can get on-demand videos, how you can get something which is very, very relevant for your hobbies. And then if you are sitting in the telecom can find out whether you are in gym, whether you are in airport or you are having some idle time, everything with your behavior, it can define, and then it can decide what kind of a content to push to you so that the content can create a revenue. So these models are already there and then we are implemented in Europe and telecommunication and all. So where if you're there in airport and then you're having 2 hours, that information, if it is available, and then you generally watch some kind of a genre in the movie, that movie can be pushed to you so that you should be able to watch. And then it can give something in the sports if you want to watch, whether this clip is there. So behaviorally, what are all the things you can understand about you? Based on that, the mass personalization services, AI can play a very big role. Over to you.
I think this question has been repeated multiple times. You can add up.
Sure. I think sir covered one more question. I saw one interesting question. How does AI in telecom differs from ChatGPT or Gemini, right? So both are same from the underlying technology. There is no change. You still interact with the AI. Even in telecom AI, if you create a chatbot, it will use ultimately one of the models of Anthropic or a to probably use a Claude or a ChatGPT or OpenAI, one of the models. So ultimately, you will go. What is the difference is your RAG. What is the knowledge base I use to collect that information and answer the question will differ domain to domain, and that's where your knowledge of the bot comes into picture.
Do you want to
select
questions now, or should I read something?
I'm checking.
Just you can pick up now.
Yeah. This is Deepak from VCT. Which network issue has the greatest impact on airlines? Network congestion, cyber security attack, or communication failure, and why? Interesting question. I would say that communication failure, because network congestion comes later. Communication failure, when it happens, right? Network congestion also is one of the key. Probably communication failure might have happened because of one reason could be network congestion, but communication failure, the moment it is on top and you want to land and there is a failure, right? There is a, I don't have a network to communicate, even a radio walkie-talkie, right? Every communication, Wi-Fi, everything is a telecom again. So that actually puts the plane on risk. So that's that would be my one. I'll pick up the questions, but one interesting thing I'm seeing for the benefit of audience, right? See, when you are asking questions, I want you to think and ask, not for this session. Probably use think and ask. Most of you have used again ChatGPT. I work for I had a native company, so you know if somebody is going to take questions from, we can very easily find out. So please use AI for augmenting, making it help. But don't delegate your thinking to AI. So that is never going to help you out. Okay. How telecom plays a role in biomedical engineering? How does it make an effective role in medical informatics? When you say biomedical engineering, if I can include what do you say, in a lot of hospitals, okay, you can actually use the baby monitoring you would have seen in a lot of places, right? Or in patient healthcare and a lot of places. That's the simplest one which I can say. Baby monitoring devices are there. That's one example of a monitoring system. So similarly, remote patient monitoring, your devices that gets implanted, right? Pacemakers example, right? Those can be monitored. That's one typical example of telecom in biomedical engineering. A lot of your medical imaging, the CT, MRI scan, and after the data analysis and then predicting, can this data set lead to these kind of anomalies, lead to things. And you have this what do you say, smart hospitals. There are very good healthcare systems that completely monitor a patient, right from dementia to critical healthcare, right? Those ones are very critical in telecom. That's very interesting space to work. I'm just reading how's the shift of device to 20 impacting. How is the shift towards direct device to device satellite connectivity impacting the traditional telecom business model? There is no more traditional telecom business model. It's all modern, and most of the places we have brought in cloud. Cloud is there, and there is no longer manual shift. So if you have to have a satellite connectivity, right? Satellite connectivity, even on a ship, if you have to go on a ship or cruise, you will have a satellite connectivity, right? You're the D-Link, which even Elon Musk was talking, and other things, right? So it's a modern. There is nothing. It's a traditional telecom business model is already out there. Once again, I'm just seeing the questions. It's just flipping. Sorry about that. How do operators? Okay, so I have a question regarding GenAI slide. Since the AI copilots after the router configurations autonomously, how do operator ensure it does generate incorrect command that could cause a network outage? Beautiful. Okay, so there are guardrails. Okay, this is not just for router configuration. For any AI, there is a metrics called Raga metrics and evals. If you look for AI, right? So those are some of the guardrails and metrics by which we evaluate the accuracy of AI output. So AI Copilot can make mistake on router configuration, will make, in fact, and it can hallucinate. If you let it, any trained system still will hallucinate. But what we do is, that's where in any AI project, right, your development cycle actually reduces. Whatever we used to take for say 8 months can be done in 15 days or 1 month. But on top of it, your testing cycle, I won't say has increased time. The testing of data accuracy, prompt, meta prompt checking, and your data checking, your data validation, guardrails are all based on different kind of parameters, and some two type of testing that happens, or comparison metrics that happens is are ragas and evals. So we need to do the accuracy with the trained data and context data, and then only taking. So any data that is being generated for your benefit as well, don't take everything that is being generated by ChatGPT, including your assignments. If you are doing it via ChatGPT, please validate, read through. It can hallucinate anything. So we do validate. Second. I'm just flipping it around here. 1 second. How telecom play a role in a cyber security? It's a very interesting question. So initially we used to have a very big team, and in spite of that, the hackers were very smart, ransomware hackers and all those things. Now you can actually train the bots. Do the 24/7 monitoring. We don't need a team to do that. We can actually have somebody to monitor whether the bots are doing their job or not. But they can actually go register all the IP, register static registers. They can monitor the current trends. For example, there was one geography where again and again there was a ransomware that was happening. Last 6 months, if you go and read the news, you will see. But what the government did was they did use AI to monitor the trend, and throughout the network they monitored the some of the activities, and you can actually dynamically arrest or track the hunter, or track the attackers. It's a very interesting space, growing space there. Ma'am, for engineering student who want to work on self-healing network and AI-driven OSPSS system, which specific tools or frameworks should we start building projects on today? Very good, excellent. So we saw, as I said again, all right, let's break this down. AI-driven OSS BSS system, self-healing network. These are the two spaces. So you want to build a self-healing network. That's a functional domain, and which is actually under AI-driven OSS basis. So there are two parts to it. So self-healing network. So both of answering this question on a high level, right? You should, for AI, you should know some kind of LLM language, Crow AI, AWS, LangChain, Python, etc. Golang. Golang is one of the best ones as well. And apart from that, you will also need to have a good, fair understanding on telecom basics. So if you read through telecom basics and your network papers, network engineering, please don't go, if you're using a PPT to study, please don't do that. Pick up the work, actual book and read, you will understand a lot. That should be fair enough there. And currently we are seeing one more very, very interesting, this infrastructure as code. IaaC used to be one of the, one of the jargon that was used 3 years ago. Now IaaC is gone. It's all AI-driven IaaC, where you can actually build a infrastructure platform. The infrastructure still will be there. You will have a AWS, the complete monitoring using Ansible, Terraform, everything is built on top of it. AI sits and does the complete infrastructure monitoring. So that's an interesting space to go through. For electronic student to enter the modern telecom industry, what balance between core hardware, embedded system, and software skill sets are employed currently impact? Okay. So these are all some realistic questions. Apart from ChatGPT questions, I'm getting very interesting one. See, as I said, you can enter into this space in 3 or 4 places. One is you can actually join an IT company, pick up a telecom operator, telecom industry. I worked in a lot of telecom industries. In there also, you can pick up either OSS, PSS. Some people get a chance to work to both, right? So that way you will that space. And apart from that, you also can, I don't want to work on IT at all, I want to work on core industry, is where you will go and work with Reliances or BT of the days, where they actually manufacture the core hardware device. There are boxes that comes to your house, right? So that is a embedded system. It depends upon what you want to do, and every path, right? Every path in the company, example, every path. You stay in an IT company, you stay in an embedded software company, your path of growth and speed of growth will be different. Okay, and both will actually take you to top. Only thing is you have to become an expert. I won't really say which is the best. Both are best, and the knowledge what you gain in college for choosing will help you. For network inventory, maintain weight AI and our product catalog intent. What is the risk of frame? I don't think I have to answer this question because it is typically this is no way related with the. I'm for engineering students. Once again, who want to this I answered. Once again. What kind of tools should I learn and do projects to become a data analyst? Okay, I will give you some view there. So learn have very good fundamentals on your data analyst. You should have very good fundamentals on database, PostgreSQL, different type of RDBMS, relational record-based systems, MongoDB, and all those things. And apart from that, have a good knowledge on data science. Data science, once you have a good in-depth knowledge on data science, different algorithms, data mining concepts, I think that would be a very solid fundamental to enter into space of data analysis, data science. Opportunity and risk of adopting AI-driven autonomous in the era of 5G and beyond. What are the opportunities and risk of adopting AI-driven autonomous telecom system? What are the opportunities? I don't see any risk of adopting. I would answer the opportunities. Enormous opportunities in the era of 5G. In fact, you have might have seen the videos of 3D videos and all those things. All medical has advanced so much. All the disease, all the detections, your predictions. A lot of diseases have come to a full stop. A lot of types of cancers have come to a full stop because of AI, because of data analysis. A lot of problems on ALS, one of the disease, right? That's a very key that actually has reduced because of AI. Your launches, today's launch of all the rockets and the privatization coming into space because of the era of 5G and beyond. Huge opportunity in place. I don't see there at all.
Probably we'll take two more questions if you have time now for another 5 minutes, and then we'll close.
What tool we use? Full stack developer Python frame means the Django, .NET Express as such. Which framework? Any framework. All you need to do is be thorough whatever you're doing. If you are going to use Spring Boot, React, and then you are going to use any one of the database and rest the whole stack, right? Be thorough. It doesn't matter which stack you are. If you are, there is a word called polyglot. While answering this question, I'll tell you what is polyglot. Polyglot is there is no more segregation of this one. After AI coming into picture, if you go and ask ChatGPT, it will give you a code in C#, it will give you a code in Java. You don't, the developer position is gone. Now, how do you actually debug and get the right code? That comes from your sincerity of good logical knowledge, a good developer skills. Right? Polyglot developer is someone who can adopt to a new technology and pick up an expert in the technology in 2 days. Literally, we are getting people who are polyglot. I can write a code in .NET, I can write a code in Java. I need probably 1 day, 2 day to upskill. So doesn't matter which framework you choose, whatever you choose, ensure that you're hands-on. One last question. What AI tool should, once again, get information? What is the suggestion to build a career? The question is gone. Okay, how we can gain knowledge and how can we join in all that leading telecom industry using AI to get information? What is the suggestion you give it to us to learn and build career? Almost all AI, all telecom companies are giving internship, and you can actually go learn, write good articles, send it to them, and you should be able to get a good. If you're going to work on a core, probably that would be a good starting point for you to start on the internships. I'm done,
Yeah,
Lavana.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you. You have spent a lot of time actually. And participants, probably we will write back to the question and whether either our Pati sir or Jina ma'am will respond to that and we will write back the answers to you. So that brings us the end of a wonderful and engaging Q&A session. Once again, a heartfelt thank to you, Ms. Jina ma'am. So you're so generously sharing your time, knowledge and valuable industry insights with us today. So with this, I would like to invite Mr. Ravi Venkatraman, PALS champion, to deliver the vote of thanks and share his closing remarks. Over to you, sir.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Can hear you,
Yes,
sir.
sir. I can
We
hear.
can
And
hear you.
You can't see me, right? Okay, now you can see my
Uh,
hands and face. Anyway, well, good evening to everybody. I am the senior most champion in PALS. I am a 1971 batch of IIT Madras. I'm sure many of you are not born. I don't know, even your fathers would not have been born by 1971. Anyway, then, well, I was the 45th employee of TCS. I was there from 1973 to 84. And now TCS has, I think, about 6 lakh employees. It has a huge growth. And hats off TCS. And thanks to all the employees like, and then Gina, right, who all have put in tremendous effort to make it happen. So coming back to the topic today, I think Gina made it extremely simple and very interesting. I normally, whenever I come to the lectures after 5-10 minutes, I just kind of doze off. But then today, I just sat through completely. In fact, I just had taken down some notes also today, so that I can use it later. So we started with, what is telecom, which was a very simple definition. Moving data across spaces. I didn't know the definition. I thought only talking. This is very, very general and it does cover voice data as well as everything else. Very, very interesting. Then we went down to, what are the basic things, of course, in telecommunication. So we have the business support system and we have operation support system. These are two things. One is on the commercial aspect and the other one is on the technical aspect. I think many students here will be more keen on the technical than the commercial aspect of the system. So after looking at the OSS BSS architecture, we just went to what is hype versus reality, where it was made very clear that AI is not, terminator. AI is only an enabler. So we don't have to be afraid of AI, but we need to learn AI. We have to make use of it so that AI will not eliminate any roles, but it does enhance all the roles, which is interesting. Then we just came down to general AI as well as agentic AI. General AI is automated support and assistance, and AI Copilot, which all of you are aware of because it's a very well-known software, and then knowledge assisted management, and even code generation. AI can generate code, but then of course we need a human being to again go back, audit it, and make sure everything works. So AI cannot do the audit; it can do only the basic codes, and only a guy with a domain knowledge will be able to again verify all these things. That is where you have huge opportunity. All the students, you have to build in your domain knowledge so that you can become experts on AI as well. And agentic AI is concerned, it can do the self-healing of all your the networks. It can also do the orchestration and also the resolution of all the agents. I think that the basic operations, that Traditional operations are basically a reactive nature, whereas once you start making use of AI-powered operations, right, all that become nothing proactive. Meaning, AI can tell you when something is going to fail. Whereas currently what we do is after something fails only, we just jump in. I think that will result in a huge improvement, of course, on your service levels. Then we also talked about optimization and energy management and AI guard as well as service support right under live UFC thing. And at the end of it, we did cover also the carrier and human side. So as I said already, AI will not replace any role. We don't have to be afraid of AI, but all the students must learn AI. They should start right now. They don't need to wait until they complete their BTech. They need to get at least one or two now certifications. A lot of them are available, I'm sure. It could be from an Amazon, could be from an Oracle, or it can even be from a TCS, or it can be from IIT Madras. I don't know all the options available. All of you go through the web. Please again get your certification. Well, in case you want a job, of course, in TCS. Incidentally, I like to thank Gina for such a simple and lively lecture. As usual, Lavana done a great job of running this event because now I think she's an expert on this kind of events. I think she can offer her services to even the outsiders. She's so good at it. I'm really impressed. Like to thank all the students. I think it is numbering around 5,000, which is a fantastic number. I'm very grateful to them for having come down here, right, in spite of their other schedules, coming, listening. I saw a lot of interaction, a lot of questions and answers, and people have done very well also on the quizzes. All this shows that all the people are very alert. So I wish you all the best. And I wish you all the best, of course, in your future things. So now that you all, I heard the lecture from TCS, I think your target should be now, somehow get in TCS and people like Gina,
I work for Gallant, sir.
Sorry?
I used to work for TCS and now I work for Gallant. I work for a AI native company.
Oh yeah, that doesn't matter. I used to work for TCS. I left TCS
Okay.
and then I went to all kind of places, but I'm still loyal to TCS.
No, understood.
Okay, fine. Otherwise, you can also get into Galaxy. Okay, then one more option. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Anyway, thank you very much. We'll have a nice evening.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, sir.
thank you, Ravi. Thank you, Ravi and Gina, and also Pati for having organized such a good program. And what Mr. Ravi spoke was really a refresher of the whole lecture given by Gina Priya. Excellent, excellent action. Thank you, Pati and PMO also, friends. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ravi sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
It was a pleasure meeting all of you, the veterans of the IIT and industry as well.
Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. So thank you once again, everyone, for being part of today's session and for your enthusiastic participation and active interaction throughout the program. So before you sign off, we kindly request you to take a moment to share your feedback using the link provided. Your feedback is extremely valuable to us and help us enhance our future programs. So we look forward to welcoming you again tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. for another exciting session on current trends in real-time design and accelerators.
No, some people have raised their hand.
Yeah, let me attempt this, sir. So thank you, and we hope to see you all tomorrow. Yeah, let me see. Santa, do you want to ask any question? I think some people are still playing.
Thank you.
Santa, Velu. You want to ask any question? I have unmuted. They're not unmuted.
I think get close.
Yes. With this, we would like to wrap up today's session. Thank you all. We'll hope to see you tomorrow afternoon at the same time, 1:30. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Gina, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.
Ravi, sir. Thanks to other PALS champion and Srihari from the PMO team in assisting in the back end.
Thanks all.
You can stop the recording, Hari. Thank you. We'll catch up later, ma'am.